One thing in common among those four panelists was they never failed to mention, elephant in room, USA trade policy. If you're going to sum up US trade policy, I can sum up in two words. One is buy American, hire Americans, and don't manipulate your currency. So two words. And so, is there anything CJK, China, Japan, Korea, collectively together to cope with those new U.S. trade policy, which means they try to reduce trade deficit through various, incentive, disincentive, and also they want to make sure that these East Asian countries are making investment in those countries instead of, making most of global value chain. And third thing was three countries still maintain on monitoring list of currency manipulation. So I would invite four panelists and to share your ideas. Any common collective response to those new face of U.S. trade policy? Anyone want to go first? Professor Park? Yes.
I don't have any specific suggestion, but as you all know that the CJK summit meeting process has been suspended for quite some time. So if you want to show our collective leadership, I think it's eminent that, right now Korea has some internal political turmoil, but sooner or later it'll be settling down. Then I think we really hope that CJK summit meeting process should start. Then we can say something to the world. East Asian or Northeast Asian leaders are supporting more free trade, are supporting more multilateralism rather than bilateralism. So I think most important thing is to let the leaders meet together regularly. This is one of the most important thing to happen, I think.
So, summit leadership. Anyone? Oh, Mr. Iwata, go ahead.
Thank you. I want to say two comments. One of them is the chairman has already posed one question. This is if we want to establish TPP -1, then there may be additional work needed. I agree. I mentioned the history of GATT. My memory is correct. International Trade Organization proposal or charter was initially made in the year 1947. And the US withdrawn, and afterwards remaining signatory countries embarked on the work to establish the provisional text. That's the GATT. That established in 1951. It took about a couple of years. And I find if Japan make proposal to stick to the TPP -1 and establish this, then it takes a couple of years, because it required to make some amendment of the existing TPP, agreements. So, but what is interesting for me is in January this year, US government released a letter, with respect to NAFTA renegotiation. In this document, the government says NAFTA should attain the comparable results to TPP with respect to digital trade, disciplines on state-owned enterprise, environment, and labor. That implies TPP is a more advanced free trade area agreement. So a high quality agreement. Therefore, I think TPP still serves a model template for the regional integration, including China, Japan, Korea, trilateral FTA, and RCEP, and FTA AP. And if the quality of this trade agreement is very high and deep, then obtained benefit is much more larger. So I think, therefore, TPP still alive as a model.
Well, thank you, Iwata. I recall what he mentioned, resemblance to ITO and current situation, because I'm teaching to my students history of global trading mechanism. But some said history repeat, but some said history doesn't repeat. We'll see. Mr. Armstrong? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Just very quickly, I think the United States especially has been providing a tailwind in the global economy until now. That's turning into a headwind. And so what we do here in the region has to be ambitious, and I think meeting the trilateral leaders, the summit re-meeting again is an important start. But I think there have to be strong commitments and leadership. And I don't think any single country, and even China, as large as it is, cannot lead alone in this environment. So collective leadership, and whatever is done in Asia, in East Asia, has to be avoid being inward-looking and be open to eventual US membership when US wants to join again and be an active, proactive player. So I think it has to be an open arrangement that welcomes the United States in and others.
我再补充2句啊，就是我觉得在当前这个国际经济形势下，中日韩的合作尤其重要。中国呢现在的贸易占全球的14%，那么中日韩如果加起来呢，接近20%，那么经济总量呢，刚才我说了已经占了20%以上了。中国现在的这个经济增长呢，“十三五”期间呢是6.5%到7%，那么我们预算呢，到这个2020年呢，中国经济总量呢会达到90万亿人民币，也就是说差不多14-15万亿的美元。那么我想呢，中国的经济增长的动力不会减弱。我们和韩国研究过韩美的自贸区的，它因为经过12年谈判啊。韩美自贸区的这个谈判的文本，那么它的文本呢，实际上和 TPP 的文本是基本上一致的，也就是说我们说的更高标准的贸易规则。那中国现在呢，在中国分3批搞了11个自贸区试点，那么就是为了推进更高标准的贸易规则和投资规则在中国落地。因此，我觉得中日韩的这个更高标准的贸易规则下的中日韩自贸区的谈判呢，有着坚实的基础。我认为在当前呢，推进中日韩自贸区谈判，密切3国之间的经济合作尤为重要。好，谢谢。
Well, it is quite interesting because Madam Chen mentioned very high-level CJK FTA, but too many audience and those outside of negotiations. Impression is one is leading obstacle of CJK FTA talk is Japan and Korea. They try to aim high level, but on the other hand, Chinese government they are quite reluctant in bringing up level of ambition. So basically, what you're saying is Chinese government the position is more flexible in terms of aiming the bar high in CJK talks.
中国采取这个弹性的态度啊，我觉得有2个方面的考虑。第一呢，我们是这个发展中的大国，那么我们还要适应呢，和发展中国家打交道，和新兴市场经济体打交道，因此我们呢就是推进 RCEP。另一方面呢，我们要从一个经济大国迈向一个经济强国，要走向呢第一梯队的话呢，我们还要推进更高标准的贸易规则、投资规则，也包括我们的国家的治理的这个现代化。所以呢，我们这个从上海自贸区开始，第2批呢又在广东、福建、重庆等地方，搞了第2批自贸区试点。那第3批呢是搞了7个省份的自贸区试点。那么你看呢，已经到现在已经11个了。我想这些自贸区呢，它不是为了试点，是为了复制，是为了推广。那么是为了使中国整个经济呢， 能够和日本、韩国具有同等的高水平，适应更高标准的贸易规则。因此，中国推进中日韩自贸区呢，是瞄准了更高标准的贸易规则。好，谢谢。
Thank you. She keeps coming. I should stop soon. I will make sure I will abide by time. I have final question to panelists, because we talk about opportunity for making collaborations, and we have historic opportunity ahead of us. But CJK, their power is mainly coming from manufacturing. So will it be possible CJK countries are turning into this ongoing CJK talk or RCEP talk, where they can talk about more competition service sectors and talk about possible collaboration on environment and pollutions, and also how they can effectively cope with digital economy. So for so-called three very prominent new areas, how three countries can collaborate together. So very briefly, anyone who's interested in making comment? Mr. Iwata? Mr. Iwata, you want to pitch in? Yeah, go ahead, Madam Chair, please.
I already mentioned that the TPP is the most advanced free trade agreement, and with respect to this digital trade and environment and the labor, and I find this can serve as a model for promoting this regional integration in Asia, whether it's RCEP or trilateral FTA and or FTA AP. And this is very important. And I believe the United States would come back to this, model.
Time will tell, we'll see. Mr. Armstrong, finally.
Just very quickly on the environment issue, I think that's a natural complementarity between countries, and it's an easy place to cooperate where everyone wins very easily. And very quickly on the standards and the high standards in the TPP, yes, I think some areas were very high standard and innovative and new, but other areas, I think the definition of high standard is not suitable to other countries. The strong intellectual property rights protections, the state-owned enterprise reform, as written by USTR, doesn't necessarily fit for our countries in East Asia. So I just caution on that high standard approach. Other parts are high standard.
Thank you very much. I think it's time to close. Because of time limitation, I couldn't digest several very high-quality questions, but I may briefly tell you what kind of question was, even though we cannot respond to those questions. Some question was whether or not the TPP can be expanded by embracing China. That is one question you need to think about. And also there was question, the linkage between SADA deployment and Chinese retaliation. So what is going to future possible collaborations in East Asia because of this? So that said, we are having challenges as well as opportunities. And so with that observation in mind, I'd like to conclude session 2. Thank you for your participation. Thank you very much.